Welcome to this week's edition of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, the computer art man himself, Jeff Mueller.
How is everybody? Because I'm doing really good. How are you, Xavier?
I am fine, Jeff. How are you?
I am pretty good. It's been exciting.
Did you have a good Easter yesterday?
Yes, I had a good Easter. How about yourself?
Had a great Easter, and Jeff and I would like to wish a belated happy Easter and happy or blessed Passover to all our friends.
Yes, having family on both sides of that religion and also politics. I'm always right in the middle. It's a good place to be,
yep.
Especially when you're talking with your mother-in-law. We actually had the week before when we went back to Milwaukee while we were off, I had an early Easter with my in-laws, and then yesterday, which was real Easter, I had that with my immediate family. But that gets us to what's happened in the last 2 weeks. It's been quite an intense 2 weeks. Everybody knows that and you can see it back here, both the paintings that I painted digitally have now been brought into the real world and are ready to be worked on conventionally. I've only looked at these for about a half hour. These hit, I picked it up, we're video blogging. I haven't even had a chance to study them, make sure there's no imperfections on the canvas. See what I want to do. I've gotten Bright Lights Big City, that's over there. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. And then we've got the mysterious absinthe drinker with Xavier himself as the model.
I was going to say, I sort of recognize the fellow in the painting.
It's a good way to just break out, isn't it? It's like for for 3/4 of a year, everybody could hear your voice, and then on the set of the actual photo shoot we did, and voila, there you are.
I'll probably want to just go back to hearing my voice.
Engraved in history. That's my goal. So, what I'd like to say, this particular painting, and now I'm seeing, using the Canon 5D instead of the small, the little megapixel HD camera on the HD video camera, the detail was so much greater that I worked for. So the medium onto the digital medium onto this canvas is just so much cleaner than the other ones. I mean, you look at it and it's pure, it's more polished, it's cleaner. So looking at it, this is going to be a challenge because my whole feeling when I'm painting isn't just to put paint on the canvas, it's to enhance this painting to do what I want dimensionally, and right off the bat, it's kicking ass. It's kicking ass. Now the other painting, when we go over Bright Lights Big City, there's a lot of work to do there, but I was actually excited about that because of the way that I painted that painting. It was going to be conducive to putting a lot of paint on the canvas. Now, there's a couple other things that really happened in the last couple weeks. Is one, the space at 2nd April Gallery, my opening day has been set. It's Wednesday, May 2nd, the Wednesday before First Friday, which will be then the wall and the space will be open. That's the big days each month that everybody comes through and sees. But all my family, friends, Twitter friends, Facebook friends, everybody out there is going to be invited to the the May 2nd opening. That should be a good time.
That's Wednesday, May 2nd at what time?
It will be at Wednesday, May 2nd at 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock.
7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
So that'll be there, and the way that I look at it, my opening will be, I'm sure there'll be a lot of close family and friends, but anybody else who wants to come. We don't have a graduation. None of our kids are graduating this year. The last couple of years, that was our big thing. We had a Super Bowl party. That was our big thing. Well, this is going to be the big thing. So everybody will be invited. Come see my artwork. Have a good time. Get some good food. Drink some good wine and beer. Maybe some absinthe.
And you know, you can Google 2nd April Gallery and get directions for those of you familiar with the Canton, Ohio area.
And when we get closer, I'll have it posted on the website.
It's between 3rd and 4th Street Northwest on Cleveland Avenue. It's
Right.
on the east side of the road. The
So-
2nd April Gallery. And let me say, I'm impressed. That's a very nice gallery. I think you know, one of the
Well,
nicest. And your location is also primo where they have you at.
I partnered with Craig Booth. Thank you, Craig.
Very nice fella, Craig and his wife.
Oh
yes.
yes, definitely. And we this last first Friday I sat in, and Xavier sat in for part of the time, but just to see what kind of traffic goes through there and what I want to do with the space. And and as we get closer, I'll be explaining exactly what I want to do. I've already got pretty much the composition in my head, what I need to order, everything I got to get ready. There's so much to do. I got to produce a DVD that I can hand out and give to everybody. There's going to be special cards, invitations, the whole gamut. I've got to order metallic prints. I'm going to be selling some of my airbrush portraits of movie stars, but I'm going to be selling the metallic print versions of them. The originals will be there, but I haven't decided yet if I want to part with them. That's just the whole. One thing I noticed with the artists that were at 2nd April Gallery when I was going through, they're all in the selling mode. And myself, personally, there's the artworks. I'm at a point where I sold artwork and did artwork for everybody for so long that this original series and these first pieces that I'm producing and the pieces that I produced in the past that are a part of me, I'm not so sure that I want them. I might have some separation anxiety going on. So I got to look at each one, price the originals accordingly, but I also have to make some affordable medium, whether it be prints or canvas prints, to people that can buy a part of it, but it might not be the original. But who knows? Then if it goes the way it was supposed to go, or is supposed to go, I might lose all my originals.
You know, Jeff, you'll be having separation anxiety with the portraits of W.C. Fields and Katharine Hepburn and Greta Garbo and whatnot, but you'll gain some new portraits, perhaps like of Ulysses S. Grant and Ben Franklin and maybe, you know, a few others.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll go. What we'll do is we'll just cover that more in depth. And then also same thing. I wanted to show each painting tonight. I'll get some nice close-ups that I'll be flashing while we were talking, and go up so you can see what it is. This is the point where it's a very exciting time for a digital artist because this is actually seeing it physically. I mean, this day for a digital artist is Christmas and birthday and everything just put together because you get to see that thing that you've worked on for hours, and all of a sudden it's there in front of you.
It is really amazing, and I'm not trying to boast because I happen to be a small part of this painting, and I really am a small part. This is all Jeff's creative inspiration, but just to see it, or any painting that you've been involved in some level of the process, to see it come to fruition like we're looking at it on the wall back there now, it's really awesome. It's unbelievable.
Well, I feel that part of my talent is working in the digital field for so long, in the commercial art part of it, where things had to always get printed. And I'm very good at looking at the computer screen and visualizing what it's going to look like into the real world. And this painting came off exactly how I wanted it to come off. I thought maybe it'd be a little dark, not enough. I'm going to add a little bit into it, but there's not much needed to finish this painting off. Now the other one, I produced in these bright, vibrant colors. And now with this painting, Bright Lights Big City, that I collaborated with Rod Jones to produce, this painting from the start, when I started this painting, much more freer me, more wild, and it's a style that I've talked about before that I really liked when I was looking at all the other digital artists. It's a style that I wanted to try, so I knew that I was going to put a good amount of paint on this particular painting. The acrylics and the abstract, bigger brush strokes that this painting is lending, using blending two colors together to form edges, and all the that type of style was conducive to really being able to lay some nice acrylic down on this particular canvas to enhance it. Now, what happened is when they called me from the place I was getting printed, Simply Canvas, I talked to him and he said it's out of gamut. It was my colors in the computer were too bright. I knew that. So when he brought it into gamut, he showed it to me. If I wasn't planning on dumping the paint on this paint and really using a lot of acrylic, I would have then probably brought it back, made it work with the colors in the gamut. But in this case, there's actually some places that almost completely disappeared into the blacks, and that's something that's really nice because I'll be able to paint that back in with conventional brushes and acrylic. So I'm excited to get to this one. This particular one will be pretty nice and a little bit different than everything else that I did.
Different in two ways. The more leaning towards the abstractionist style, and also it's a cityscape and there's no human beings in it.
Exactly. It's not about, this one's not about the social media. So the last two paintings that you just saw, they're more the digital artist and me starting to take chances, because I really think as an artist you have to just get out there, and when you do, you go for it. So now that brings us to the newest contest that I'm entered. It's called Art Takes Times Square. Now this particular contest that I've entered, I'm already at the point where I've got enough follows that I've got the premium memberships, which means that I get a ticket to the show. I believe it's June 17th. I also, my artwork that I entered, which was 9 pieces, 1 including the Mysterious Absinthe and 8 other from my social media, will be being shown on a screen at the show. And also I'm guaranteed that my artwork will be shown in one of the large screens in Times Square. So I'm completely psyched for that. Me and my wife are actually planning our summer vacation to end up in New York City so that we can go to the show. Now, I need your support. I always need your support, but in this case it would be just great if we went to New York City and I was actually winning something. I would like to win something, and it's all based on what kind of support you can get. On the judges are going to be looking at the most voted, or collected in this case, portfolios to determine who will win the grand prize. So, and it's not just winning. The grand prize isn't that big of a deal to me. It's actually the recognition that I could get, even if I was getting, honorable mentions, that type of thing. They're going to be giving out a lot of awards, so it would be just great if we can go in that direction. I know a lot of you support me. A lot of you have supported me. Xavier.
Yes, of course. I've voted already, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. You mean you're going to go home right now?
I'm going to go home right now and vote, actually, yes.
Okay. So, but we've covered a lot. It's too long already, so we'll just wrap it up. Anything, Xavier?
Take it easy, folks. See you next week.
It was great to see you again.